And we're live.
Is that a hint, or are you just scatting?
What?
I
Oh,
said, is that a hint, or are you just scatting?
Could it possibly be a hint?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Do, 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 do.
Do you say diddle-oo?
Doodle do.
Okay, so maybe it also features a diddling scandal.
Oh, it's back. The return of the diddle.
No. Is it ever here? I
Episode
don't
title.
want it. Oh, diddling. All right. Who's ready for a countdown? Ready to start the show?
Yes.
John?
I won't be responding. I'm still looking up trivia.
Okay, but you're ready for me to do a countdown?
Someone else hosts the show.
Okay. David, you ready for a countdown?
Don't do that.
I'm still thinking that the return of the diddle sounds like a Silver Age comic title.
All right, I'll
Like,
take that as a yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh yeah, what's going on, everybody? It is Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's your boy John Harrington here, and we got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we've got David Fleming. Say hey.
hey,
Hell yeah, guys. It is so good to be back. I always say that like it's, some kind of momentous thing when we take a week off. Like I forget how to host the show, and like it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. But yeah, it's so strange taking a week off. So I hope all of our listeners are enjoying their GTT milestone mixtape that we published in the podcast feed. David did a fantastic job on that. And if you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, we are going to have a lot of fun tonight. We are going to listen to some video game music. We've each brought 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off, have a lot of fun. And the winner at the end of the night picks a theme for the next episode and plays their bonus tunes. And our winner a couple weeks back was the fantastic Jesse Moore. So, Jesse, tell them what the theme is for tonight's episode.
Oh, the theme was anime games. So basically games that look like anime or are based on anime. Basically, if they're made in Japan, they're pretty much anime games.
I mean, that's a safe bet. Yes, I in researching this, it turns out they consider every game they make to be anime. Did you guys know that Mario is an anime character and he's, basically like the strongest one there is? I didn't know that, but turns out that's how they look at him.
Stronger
Pretty
than
much.
Naruto?
Much stronger than Naruto. Yeah,
Now I
the
just
debate
wanna-
goes straight to Mario versus Goku.
so say now I just want to check. I'm sure there is fan art of Super Saiyan Mario, but this is something I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to see.
Without question. Yeah, there's fan art of the entire Mario cast done up in the entire outfits of the Dragon Ball Z universe. Without question. No, but in all actuality, yeah, there are plenty of games with an anime style. There are fuckloads of games based on popular animes. So, yeah, I think we got probably a pretty great show coming up. Because another thing about anime, Japanese animated series, tend to have good music. So yeah, even if the games suck, which they usually kind of do, they usually bring along the music from the series. So man, we're gonna have some good tunes one way or another on this one. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of those classic anime cliches. Our power levels are going to exceed 9,000, of course. Johnny, I believe, has been working on going Super Saiyan and will do so by the end of the show. David, something about One Piece. He's a pirate. Is that what One Piece is?
Yeah, they're pirates.
Okay, yeah. David is some kind of pirate, so he's from One Piece. And Jesse didn't bring his ninja headband, but
Oh, I need to go find it.
Strictly out of lack of planning, because I know there's one in your house.
I have one. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We got 4 great games. We got a great fan request tonight, and I think we just got to jump into it, Johnny. So what do we got coming for the first game?
Game 1.
All right, guys. Let's see here. This game features over 50. Or I'm sorry, not over, but it features 50 playable characters. You play the game from a first-person perspective, and as far as I know, is the only game in this anime series we played in that perspective. Unfortunately, by playing in a first-person perspective, it means you don't get to actually see the character you're playing as most of the time. Let's see. Do you guys need a additional hint?
Yes.
Sure.
Every copy of the game included a cardboard hair piece that you could wear, and on the back of that hair was a QR code that you could scan with the console accessory.
No shitting.
All right. Let's see some answers.
Oh, David's not showing his yet.
Okay, let's see here. I can't quite read David's. It says something anime some anime 3DS game. Incorrect. Jesse says Alexis Sinclair. That's incorrect. And John says, I think it's at DDZ?
DBZ.
DBZ for Connect, which is correct.
Game 1.
Oh, god damn it. There we go.
Wait, they made a first-person DBZ game for Kinect?
Uh-huh.
I was as surprised as anybody when I googled first-person DBZ game and this came up.
I was so surprised when I googled Dragon Ball Z for Connect, first person.
Yeah.
It's one of the few Dragon Ball Z games to not be released in Japan, although it does include...
Thankfully.
What?
Wait, hang on. So a game released for Microsoft's peripheral feature wasn't in Japan? You're kidding.
Okay, actually, yeah, I mean, that does make sense. Microsoft has no clout in Japan, but still, you'd think they'd be like, all right, guys, this is going to be our big Japan push. We're going to give those people the Kinect with DBZ. Nah.
It does have Japanese voice tracks, so like I think they were intending to get into Japan, and I
Or
guess
they were intending it to be played by weebs.
yes.
Total weebs.
Yeah, so fun fact, you have to like perform moves with the Kinect to do things. Like in order to charge up, you gotta squat and hold your arms out to the side like they do in the show. Like you're trying to take a shit.
I was
and
hoping that was the
charge.
case.
That's the thing.
So, like, for like the Kamehameha, you have to, actually do it for the final
Jesse,
flash.
Don't
with your
assume I
hands
know
up.
any of these words. I don't know what that means.
All right, everybody use your JVC buzzwords. Here we go. So, Johnny, when doing the burning attack, do you have to mimic every one of Trunks' hand motions exactly before forming
hard.
the hand motion to shoot the final blast?
I don't know. So I do know there are a lot of hand motions you have to form, like in the show. Like there's stuff where you have to tap your shoulder and then like do kind of the Hadouken style, thing for like throwing fireballs and stuff. You have
Why
to.
do you tap your shoulder?
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
remember
which character on DBZ taps their shoulder
I'm
to activate their
thinking-
fireball?
Well, I don't
And
think you're
there's
supposed
not
to.
one.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to tap your shoulder with the same. I think it's supposed to be a more like mimicking a fist across your chest kind of motion. Like you tap the opposite shoulder. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
yeah.
I think it's that.
In communication?
Yes, something like
I don't.
that.
I still don't recognize the Dragon Ball move, but does that motion?
And this is
So
your
is
fault,
it-
Johnny. You should have come with the compendium of Dragon Ball Z motion
Like,
moves.
if
So
you
is
touch
it-
the head for special beam cannon. I know there's.
Yeah.
There's
I mean, it seems like
Spirit
So is
yeah,
it one arm up for Destructo Disc, 2 arms up for Spirit Bomb?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
David's got the. He's got.
start
down.
raising that roof, you get that spirit bomb charging. Like,
But the
God, can you
trick is-
imagine charging a
have-
spirit bomb in Connect and you have to play for like an hour with your hands in the air like that?
well, everyone in the house has to come in the room and
Yeah.
give you their energy. by
Grandma,
putting their
get your
hands
ass in here. Yeah, man, I'm trying to think of all the other moves. I mean, seems like one that would be pretty easy for it to pick up. Tri-beam.
up. Yeah,
Tien's Tri-beam's pretty fucking easy, baby. You just do the Jay-Z Hove thing. You're good. Final Flash would be pretty good.
Arms out.
You got to sit there with your arms spread for a long fucking time.
yeah.
Yeah, it starts with you got to yell at Cell. So you got to yell into the Connect microphone and tell Cell to stand right there. And then you got to really stand there with the arms out before you blow his fucking torso off.
I'm the Prince of all Saiyans.
Oh,
wanna
God.
talk-
Yeah, does it respond to voice commands like classic DBZ voice commands?
I don't think so, but
Kakarot.
the hair
I
thing I
really
was
hope
talking
that-
about. The hair thing I was talking about. It's a cardboard Super Saiyan Goku hair. that you get
That's
to
so
wear.
fucking stupid. I love it.
I couldn't find any pictures of it. Maybe I could find them now, but like I
Wow.
don't know. Is it just like one flat thing of hair, or is it at least just have a little bit of shape to it?
I would imagine that like you have to build kind of like a headband, so there's like at least 3 or 4 pieces, and each one has like different levels of spikes.
Oh,
Yeah, I bet
man.
it's that. That's got to be it. It's definitely not just like a fucking cereal box
fucking flat.
mask of Dragon Ball Z hair with a QR code on it. Oh,
Okay,
man.
so we're both right. It is like a little. Oh no, it's like a headband piece, but it's like one flat piece that just kind of folds around.
One Piece.
It's from One Piece.
There is a
Man,
character
okay,
that's
also-
exclusive to this game, Super Saiyan Bardock. Of the
Nice.
characters.
Okay, well, Super Saiyan Bardock's pretty cool. I mean, he shows up in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, but that was after this, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
The footage I saw, this almost looks like a quick time event fighting game because things
Oh.
will pop up with like, hey, you can dodge or you can like throw a punch right here, and here's things
Right.
you can't
I
do.
mean, that's the thing. I think a DBZ Connect game, if it's like supposed to be 1-to-1, would be fucking exhausting. Like, except the charging, you got to charge back up, so you get to take a break, take a little, just take a shit on the floor. But like,
You have to scream.
Just depending on how long you can hold that scream, that's how you go Super Saiyan in the game. Yeah. Please stand further back from the microphone. Yes.
And if you started playing that game and didn't tell anyone, they would just hear you screaming and run into the room. What's the matter? And you're like, oh, nothing. I'm just.
Yeah,
charging
you
up."
can't possibly play that game with like roommates or parents or anybody.
Oh, God,
Like,
imagine being-
nobody would allow this in their house.
Imagine being the parent of like a middle schooler and they're having a sleepover. It's like 11 o'clock at night. You hear, "Ah!" It's like, oh my god!
Guys, give me your energy.
Shit.
Go on, Stan.
No more Red Bull. Get out of here.
No, the thing that sucks that I'm seeing, it's only one player.
Mhm.
What the hell?
Yep, single player fighting game that you play by standing in front of your Xbox and like dodging and mimicking moves from
Wearing
Dragon Ball.
cardboard.
Oh,
Wearing your
fucking sucks.
cardboard Super Saiyan hair.
And you can't see your character either.
Yeah, I'm gonna be my favorite character, Vegeta. It's like you're just Vegeta's floating fists. Like, oh, this sucks. Like, I mean, how do you even kick? How do you do anything in that
kick.
game? That, so much of DBZ is predicated around flying and teleporting and shit.
Well,
Like,
okay, you don't actually have to fly.
yeah, that's the thing. Bring your Kinect levitation pad, sold separately. Oh god, if they had invented Kinect anti-gravity for this, and it flopped like the Virtual Boy, like Microsoft thinks we want anti-gravity pads in our house. They're out of their mind.
Anti-gravity boots, and you realize there's repurposed Nickelodeon moon shoes.
I love the idea that you're assuming that Microsoft would put millions of dollars into research and development for anti-gravity, specifically to make their Kinect Dragon Ball Z game better.
Yeah,
I mean, look at how much work they put into the fucking Kinect.
that's what America's all about, David.
Yeah.
That's what America's all about, improving Dragon Ball Z video games.
Useless endeavors.
I mean, have you played Dragon Ball Fighter Z? That's pretty fucking great.
They
Seems to
finally
pay off.
cracked it. Yeah, it took them all these years, but you can thank Microsoft and the Kinect
They
for
fixed
us
it.
finally getting a good one. Like, oh Lord, no, John, this is great. I really, man, this is something specially. This is some special shit. This is such a bad good idea. Like, it seems like the kind of thing that's a good idea.
It would definitely.
Until
I
you
mean, I'm sure.
spend a few minutes like developing it. It's like, no, wait, this sucks. God damn it.
I'm sure every kid in middle school spent some time in like at the schoolyard or in their backyards, like pretending to be Dragon Ball Z characters, and so now
Well,
you
yeah,
can,
that's fun.
now you can see it happen, with the Kinect, but
Right.
by yourself without your friends. And
Exactly. No trade off? No. It doesn't look like you're having any fun.
Yeah, you're squatting, squatting for a while. I don't understand
You've
this.
been charging up for a long time, man. You gotta unleash that blast. I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared.
Like, if I want to
He finally
scare my
does it, just
pets,
shits.
Yeah.
if I want to scare my pets, I don't need this game. I can just run around and stomp and stuff.
It'd be pretty great if you had to, do some of those stupid conceits from the show. Like, you can't aim that beam at the planet; you'll destroy the whole planet. So you accidentally throw a fucking Kamehameha too low, and you get a game over. Like,
That would be
just
cool.
cuts to an animation of the planet being blown up. Like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, Vegeta! Damn it! But yeah, no, this game, this is what a tip off, John. What a start. I assume there's nowhere to go but up from here. Every game's gonna be as good as this one, right?
Or better.
Or better.
Okay, yeah, I like it. It's a high bar to cross for ambition, low bar for quality. That's the classic Game That Tune, baby. So, Johnny, if there's nothing else, I think it's time to keep it moving.
Game 2.
So, the subtitle of this game is a bit misleading as it refers to a hazardous device and not a power up. Would anyone like an additional piece of trivia?
Maybe.
All right. So, in the final issue of Nintendo Power, this was named the 38th best game.
38th best game of what? Nintendo's history?
I believe so.
What?
So, John Regan says DBZ for Connect. Incorrect. John Harrington says Sailor Moon La Luna Splende. Incorrect. Jesse Moore is the correct answer of Astro Boy Omega Factor.
Of course.
I think I might have played this game a little bit.
I was going to
What
say,
system was it?
this is the Astro Boy on Game Boy Advance. So, John, I know you played the hell out of this.
Oh boy. Didn't both the Johns. We are some Game Boy Advanced boys.
Yeah, we
But-
had all the link cables, played all the 8-player Mario Kart games.
Yep.
In
Oh,
the
that's
back.
Super Circuit.
Yeah.
It had Astro Boy in it, right? I remember Super Circuit.
Yeah.
That whole Astro Boy Cup.
Yeah.
God, it's the best
That
one.
actually would be kind of cool.
I've
No
never
shit.
actually, like, admission time, I've never seen Astro Boy. Is it does he have a show? Is he a comic?
Yeah, so
Yeah, he was
Ast-
like the second anime ever, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
After,
so, like-
Speed Racer.
Gigantor.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
Astro Boy was a manga who got turned into a cartoon, I believe, in like 1963,
Ooh.
and has continued on. And yeah, Astro Boy is a very prominent anime character, and Astro Boy Omega Factor is one of those games that kind of flew under the radar, but this game is fucking awesome. It's basically a treasure beat 'em up
I was
starring
going to say,
Astro
I just
Boy.
looked up. It's made by Treasure. Of course it's going to be awesome. Like,
Ooh.
what?
So
Good.
your main character, you have like a punch kick combo and you just go fuck up enemies, but you also have like 3 special moves that you can charge up and use. There's a giant finger laser, there are machine guns in your ass, and then you have like a dash attack.
Wait.
Oh, go back.
No, it's it's an
the other
actual thing. Astro Boy is built as like Astro Boy is really kind of like a Mega Man Mark 1. He's like a little boy robot who becomes like a weapon robot to defend. And he has finger lasers, and it's a thing. He has machine guns that are hidden in a panel in his lower back. But yeah, like his little metal underpants kind of flip down and machine guns come out.
Did we misspell it on the feed here? Is it 2 S's? Have I been getting that wrong all these years? Is it Astro Boy?
Oh.
I mean, what? He's a boy. No guns in boys' butts. Like, what is this?
Well, that's what makes him Astro.
That's our hard political stance.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
a great
No guns
guns?
in boys' butts.
That's a great chant to shout outside the White House soon. We should do that.
no guns.
Butt
in boys'
guns,
butts.
butt
No
guns.
guns in boys' butts.
Oh, God.
Excuse me.
What did you guys hear about Astro Boy?
Yeah.
What?
That heathen Astro Boy, the cartoon from 50 years ago. There's ass guns. How did this get past the Parents' Television Council? This is unacceptable.
Japan in the 60s, it was a bit of a different time.
Just
Guns
Japan.
anywhere you want it. Ugh.
I mean, yeah,
Gross.
I'd imagine that like once they brought it over to America, they're like, oh yeah, he's got something that kind of like pops out of his ass. Like, oh, that's unacceptable. That's not American. Well, it's machine guns.
It's a gun.
All right, that will allow. That's fine.
Yeah.
We can't show an ass on television. What if his ass turns into a gun? Hell yeah.
That's
'Cause
fine.
this is America.
That's the Lord's work.
Yeah.
It really seems like
Oh,
that's
God.
definitely like the most lax Nintendo of America I've ever heard of, is allowing guns to come out of somebody's ass.
Anyway,
I feel like we kind of got hung up on the ass guns, but the
No
game
kidding.
itself-
I can't move past it. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the ass guns.
yeah. Oh God, it's Johnny's Manchester by the Sea. He just can't get past it.
somebody quick make
He has
a
ass guns.
somebody make a timestamp of the recording so he can pull "I'm hung up on the ass guns" for later use.
Oh, yep. So anyway, what comes out of his front bottom?
Nothing that's revealed.
Good.
So,
Is there just like a reset button down there? He's a little robot.
He's a bit like Action Man in that department. So it's a beat 'em up. There are like flying stages because Astro Man can fly. And one of the interesting things is, John, you look confused.
You called him Astro Man.
Astro Boy.
It's very important he's a boy. Men
Yeah,
don't get
for the-
guns in their asses. Yeah. Only a child.
I already made
Pull off
all the
the
signs that
gun
say no
ass.
guns in boys' asses. I can't go and
Exactly.
reprint all these.
It's not a man thing. Once you're a certain age, you make decisions
I'm
about these
out
things.
$8. I can't get that back.
A child is born with an ass made out of guns. And, we don't shame them.
So
Anyway.
the game does have an interesting thing where once
Oh,
you
it sure.
Oh, Jesse. No, David, go
I'm
on.
trying so hard to move on. So once you beat the game, spoilers, the end of the game involves like a device that destroys all robots because they say that like robots are too dangerous to live and all must be wiped out. So it
Where's your head in
happens.
that?
So the game has like a very sad ending, but then this thing called the Phoenix comes and resurrects Astro Boy. So to get the good ending, you play through the game again. So it's kind of got that like Ghost and Goblins thing going, except it's
Nice.
far less frustrating.
Cool. I like that. I would imagine it's plenty frustrating enough being a game designed by Treasure. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean it's not an easy game, but
yeah, those guys didn't shy away from a challenge.
You got me thinking about Ghosts and Goblins, but it's made by Treasure, and you have an ass gun.
Yeah. When your armor falls off, you're in your underwear, but your ass is a gun.
Oh, that's such a good
would
trade-off.
it be a
Little
gun
trade-off
or
there.
would it be an ass crossbow?
God, ass bow. That's
Nope.
definitely it.
Gun. I'll give a fuck
High
about-
tech, futuristic gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
you
here for
can
the
fly.
continuity. I'm here for the amazing game.
God, man. Yeah, Sir Arthur with an ass gun. Yeah. just spread those cheeks and like fucking just futuristic laser cannon comes out of his ass. Like, yeah, it would make Ghosts and Goblins more playable.
Yeah.
A lot more playable.
Everything's an improvement to that game.
Yeah. It's got room for improvement in the ass department.
So there was
Episode title.
We all have room for improvement in the ass department.
is the episode title "Room for Improvement in the Ass Department" or just
Yeah.
"In the Ass Department"?
Either way.
See, we'll work on it. It's either ass department or in the ass department, both of which are weird in different ways.
So there was one other cool thing that I wanted to mention, and then we can dwell on the ass guns as much as y'all want.
There's 3 more games, David. How can we not?
Throughout the game, like, you run into non-playable characters and get power-ups and bonuses and whatnot, and because it's based off of Astro Boy, the guy who created Astro Boy is like the father of anime and manga and all that, so a lot of the characters are other characters he created, and it makes no sense for them to be there because they're not tied into Astro Boy at all, but it was a fun little like Easter egg to fans of the anime and of the manga. And considering we're talking about anime games, I thought that was an interesting detail that was worth pointing out.
Yeah,
Super
I
neat.
like it.
Yeah.
You know, because Astro Boy's got a long and storied history. There's nothing wrong with, I don't know, like making as many references to it as possible. You got a deep well to pull from. I mean, fucking A, he's Astro Boy.
He's a classic.
Yeah, he really is. That said, I've never seen an episode of Astro Boy myself. Like this, I know of him. I'm aware of his status as anime icon, but like, yeah, I got that. That's why we all fixate on the ass guns, David. It's like he's one of those classic iconic characters that none of us, because we
Yeah,
weren't Japanese
there's-
children in the 60s, interacted with.
There's a whole list of old school cartoon characters that I know of, but I've never seen. It's like Astro Boy, Mighty Mouse. Like there's, end of list.
Go on.
A lightning round.
Exactly. Classic cartoon characters that Johnny has maybe seen. Yeah, was Astro Boy on
Snagglepuss.
that Hanna-Barbera Wacky Racers show?
Ooh, that'd be good.
Oh god,
Ooh.
that'd be awesome if you had Astro Boy. That's what we need. We need like an anime kart racer.
Yes.
Astro Boy in like a rocket car, Gigantor in some giant massive truck.
Yeah, Lupin and like Jigen in their getaway car.
Voltron.
Just being Voltron.
Just
being
Voltron. No, Voltron in a car modeled after one of the lions,
Oh God!
and
yes.
he only has one arm.
He's driving one of his like appendages. Oh, that's good, Voltron.
Speed
Well,
Racer.
fuck yeah, David. Anything else on Astro Boy? Omega Factor. So what? Yeah, what is the Omega Factor? Do we cover that?
So yeah, the Omega Factor itself, like, it sounds like it's this cool power-up thing, but it's actually a device that like makes robots evil and turn against like humans. So when they localized it in America, they're like, "Oh, the Omega Factor, yeah, that sounds cool." And it's like, no, wait, that's not at all what you want to call the game.
That's just what we call Astro Boy's butthole. You don't want to use that. No, that's a terrible idea for a game title. No, it sounds cool. It's America. It translates perfectly.
It would be like if they localized it as Mega Man X Sigma Virus. Like, no, don't do that at all.
Yeah. Sounds cool. What does it mean? It's too late. It's on the box. Awesome, man. Great pick. And Johnny, let's blast off to the next game.
Game 3.
All right, so this game's story is divided into 8 chapters, each one representing a different composition from a classical composer and being related to events from said composer's life. How is everybody feeling?
Fantastic.
Not great. Although I think I'm on the right track.
Cool. While you guys are finalizing those answers, I want to thank our requester. This is our fan request this week. It came to us in our Discord server from Mr. E. So thank you very much, Mr. E, for this request. What a fucking request. And let's see those answers. John Regan says, Back to School, the Rodney Dangerfield game. He's sadly incorrect.
John, that's Bach.
Oh, damn it. Back to School. That's an even better Rodney Dangerfield game. And Jesse and David both say Eternal Sonata, which is correct. Man. Oh, man. What a game. Jesse, have you played this game?
A little bit, but I know it's very notorious for its ending.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if it's a spoiler to say what the ending is, but we'll get there.
Oh,
so this game, what a fucking game! This is an anime styled, nice, great graphics, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 game. And you are playing as a classical composer.
Yes.
Yeah, Chopin. I don't remember how to actually say it. I just know it's not Chopin. But yeah, you play as Frederick Francois Chopin. Chopin. Yeah. Frederick Champloo. And what the hell was going on with the development of this game? Like, what are they trying to put on us, man? You are playing as Chopin, and you are dying. Like, this whole game is a fever dream in the dying mind of a Polish composer, and in his dying mind, he's lying in bed dying of tuberculosis, and he dreams up a JRPG. Like,
so
what?
Sounds legit.
Did Chopin make JRPGs? Like,
that's my question. How how is this the first game on the show that we've used featuring Chopin? Like, if he was the composer for all these JRPGs, like, You think it would have come up by now?
Did I make this game?
I don't know, John. It seems like you might have. This is like, I want to know, was this game made by pulling things out of a hat? Like, all right, so we got our plot or our, like style of game, JRPG. We got our plot, standard JRPG. Our setting, Chopin.
No, Japan.
No,
Chopin.
it says right here. It says Chopin.
Oh, it's a typo.
How do we
Maybe
use that as the setting?
Maybe that's it. Maybe it was supposed to be like a samurai JRPG, and like one of the directors had a cold, so people thought he said Chopin instead of Japan.
Well, you're the boss.
All right.
I'll continue the research.
And the Japanese businessman, if once it gets going, he doesn't want to be embarrassed by being wrong, and so it's just going to keep going down the line, and then
You're in too deep.
there's the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't admit that I've been making this Chopin game this whole time. Like, we just gotta keep it going, man. Maybe they won't notice. Maybe if we make it anime as fuck, they won't even notice that it's a game about the death of Chopin. Like, no, people noticed, and I don't know, man. This game looks charming as shit. Like, we're back to charming. This is charming. Weird charming. I don't know what to make of this. Like, everybody in the game is named after like musical stuff. You're playing as Chopin, and you got like partners named Polka and Beat and Viola and Salsa. It's like, wait a minute, did Chopin also make salsa music? Like, what? Was he dreaming of future music as he died? Like, I don't know. I'm not
Thinking
John's
are they trying to
musical
tell you that? Are they trying to tell you that tuberculosis isn't really that bad? Because it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to say that dying is fine. Because at some point you'll, I don't know, dream your way into a new medium. I don't understand. This is, I really don't like. Oh yeah, I want to know whose baby this is. This seems like the ultimate like blank check of a fucking video game. And it's just like, okay, whose idea was this, and why? Like, I can't figure it out because it just looks delightful, and it's got one of those great Japanese names. Like they called this Eternal Sonata in North America, much like they changed Bumpy Trot to Steambot Chronicles. Have you guys read what the Japanese name before it was?
No.
Oh no,
Trusty Bell, Chopin's Dream.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah,
what is Trusty Bell?
I love my trusty bell.
Yeah, like, do you ring the bell at some point?
No,
Did Chopin have a famous bell that he loved so well?
What you do is you set up this bell, and when you're having a bad day, you tell the bell about all the problems you've been having of the day. And the more you unload your problems into the bell, then when you ring it, the louder it rings. That's how the trusty bell works.
Gotcha. That must be it, yeah. And Chopin loved that trusty bell.
Game 4.
Moving on. We figured it all out.
That does sound like something you would see in a JRPG. Like you have an item that you use continuously and it doesn't do anything, and then eventually like it makes a giant attack because you've been telling secrets to it this whole time and building up this massive bell attack.
Yes.
God, yeah. Chopin's been like just, telling like all the people, it's like, don't worry, Waltz, it'll be fine. I got my trusty bell. And he just rings it and nothing happens. And then at the end of the game, it's like, the final battle against the, I don't know, classical music dragon.
He rings the trusty bell and Sephiroth comes out.
Chopin morphs into Sephiroth and then dies.
No, he summons Sephiroth, who stabs the classical music dragon, but because the sword is so long, it stabs him as well, and that's how he dies.
Perfect.
Oh man. God, was Chopin even was he like a Japanese romanticist? Like,
No.
What made this Japanese person?
Yeah,
whoever
he was
came up with
really
this
into
game-
Astro Boy.
Right, like, why did they think this was a game? It's like, we need to tell the story of Chopin. The guy played great piano. It's like, All right, but what does that have to do with JRPGs and fucking anime hype?
You know,
I don't know.
I think I actually understand this a little bit because, like, Japan.
Ow.
Well, Japan has a weird fascination with, like, say, the city of Paris, right? And they're convinced that the city of Paris is, like, the most beautiful city. And the Japanese embassy in France actually has a dedicated hotline for Japanese tourists to call when they get there and deal with the culture shock of learning, like, oh no, people just let their dogs shit wherever, and this is actually a dirty fucking city. Like, when they realize it's not like Disney, it's like a city, like any other city. And so
That's
I can
kinda
see
funny.
them getting fascinated with, like, classical composers and kind of idolizing them the same way they idolize the city of Paris, France. That's my out of my ass idea here.
I mean, there might be some merit. Like, Japan does have weird fascinations with things. Like, Colonel Sanders is huge in Japan for some reason. Like, they have several toys and figures and, like, various things of Colonel Sanders.
Because he's dope. What do you mean for some reason?
Fair.
But yeah, anyway, no, this game's nuts. It's got great music because the composer was Chopin, but the other actual composer was Motoi Sakuraba. So you got the two biggest names in music crossing over at last.
Alternative idea. This whole game was just an excuse not to have to pay anybody royalties for the music.
Exactly. He's dead. Who cares? Get somebody to play the songs on piano. They're practically public domain.
It literally is public domain. Anybody can play Chopin. Nobody has to pay anybody a goddamn time.
Awesome. But yeah, and so Jesse, you didn't play all the way to the ending, but do you know about the ending?
Just, like it reveals it being his, like, a fever dream and stuff.
Right. But like not only that, but you've been playing, I guess, with Chopin in your party the entire time, and then he slowly starts to realize that this is like some kind of fucked up dream world, and he must be somewhere between like life and death. And so he declares that he has to defeat everybody. And so your final battle is against Chopin.
Wow.
Man.
You defeat him, and then he dies in the real world. It's like, what? Like, so at the end of this man's life, he dreams up this wonderful place full of, anime women and fucking magic JRPG battles.
The wonderful place is the wonderful
and then
place
decides it's all fake and he has to be killed by it. Like,
the wonderful place being Paris, France. And the final battle is him against Colonel Sanders.
I mean, might as well. Like, but it's just like, wait, he decides that, like, you've been playing with me the whole time. This has been nice. It's been nice hearing the music and living in this serene world, but it's pretty clear you're all dreams and I'm dying. So you better kill me. Like, Jesus Christ.
So you better get that $5 fill up.
Damn it, John, get off the KFC.
I can't.
At least we got him off of the ass guns.
My final attack, Cheetos chicken sandwich. Oh! Oh, wait, it was 2007. The Double Down.
I was going to say Chopin's Double Down.
Awesome.
You have to fight two Chopins with a piece of bacon in the middle.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, it starts with him playing two pianos at the same time. They turn into two chicken breast patties.
Two fried chicken breasts that are the bread. This is a nightmare. God damn, I love the Double Down.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
What a sandwich, if you can call it that. But yeah, this game, I'm sure it's less nuts than it seems, but coming at it from just researching it to get it on the show, it's like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, hold up. Like, one, I can't resist that soundtrack because it's full of delicious classical compositions and Motoi Sakuraba music. And then two, it's what? Like,
This looks like a pretty fun little JRPG. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Oh, this is a beautiful looking JRPG. Let me read further into. Oh God. Oh man. So, yeah, everybody go out and grab your copy of Eternal Sonata. I'm sure they've got a re-release coming at some point. People are clamoring for this one. All the Chopin completists,
They
Jesus
they
Christ.
just have to re-release it as Trusty Bell. That's the key.
That's the thing, man. Call it Trusty Bell or call it Chopin's Dream. That's the thing. The sonata's not eternal. He fucking dies.
Call it Kentucky.
Come on. The sonata's in no way eternal. He's dead.
He killed himself.
Yeah, he chose to die. It could have been eternal until he realized it was a horrifying dream world that he was gonna die. So, oh man, we're going too deep on this, way too deep. So, great request. Thank you again, Mr. E, for this request. Fantastic stuff. Johnny, let us navigate our way out of this nightmare world and into the next game.
The Nightmare World of Kentucky Fried Chopin.
God
Game
damn it!
4.
Top
So this game or this trilogy got a this 2006 PlayStation 2 trilogy got a re-release in 2017.
ピロシさん金色に輝く鎧まとい誰よりも早く駆けつける熱いパッション高いテンション鈍き瞬足のノーベルマンピロシさんピロシさん夢をした人私に続け旅路の果てまでも頭上に星々の輝きのあらんこと仮面に隠れてる光るおでこ憎き悪は許さない生かすファッション見せるアクション青きどん天のイーグルマンピロシさんピロシさんよき目をしたとも心に響け旅路の果てまでも頭上に星々の輝きのあらんことピロシさんピロシさん夢をした人私に続け旅路の果てまでも頭上に星々の輝きのあらんこと旅路の果てまでも頭上に星々の輝きのあらんことピロシさん頭上に星々の輝きのあらんこと注目
Hell yeah.
Wow.
It's all real nice. I'm totally fucked.
So what you guys got as far as answers? John's still writing. And I think David is too.
I have my incorrect answer.
Oh, good. Oh, man. Okay, so, whoa. David says Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's incorrect. Johnny says Right On Shooting Star. That's incorrect. And John with the correct answer, .hack.gu.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Was a literal shot in the dark. Wow.
Good one.
Yeah, my my Googling of like 2006 PS2 games and then just like feverishly page downing through the list landed on that as the song ended. I'm just like, fuck it. Whatever that is. So which dot is it literally like .hack G how the fuck do you spell these things?
So it's .hack then I guess is a //G.U. and then there's 3 of them, and
And this
They're-
is what, volume 1, 2, or 3?
this is one, yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
But yeah, there was actually a series before this, a Dot Hack series, and it was okay. But this one, this is one of my favorite series. Like honestly, it's so fun. It's like an action RPG, and so like this is like geared right for me because like when it came out, I was super into like MMOs, and so this game is it's an RPG where you play as a character playing in an MMO. And so like
Okay.
the weird, it's like this weird thing. It takes place in the future in 2017, and and so
The distant future, 2017.
and so you wear these like headsets to play this game, and the game seems fucking awesome. It's called The World. But okay, there's this one dude that's been like player killing people, which is, it happens, in MMOs, you get killed by other players. But for some reason, when this guy kills you, you go into a coma in real life. And that's pretty fucked up. And
Yes.
so like then people start getting stuck, like they can't like get out of the game, so they're stuck playing it. And they're worried that if they die in the game that they're gonna die in real life, or at least turn into a fucking zombie like all these other kids that are just all like in a comas, and they call it doll syndrome. And so what I loved about this game is there's parts of the game where you're not playing the MMO part, so like you're surfing the web and like going to message boards, and it has all this like great writing of like people on message boards. You have like people like trolling others and like saying stupid like leet speak stuff back in the 2000s, how they talked, and I felt it was fairly accurate.
God, they
So, like-
really were going after you with this.
Yeah. Yeah, they had everything. I had my own message boards. There's like fan art sections. You could download wallpapers and change your
You got
wallpaper.
RPGs, you got MMOs, you got anime girls, you got message boards.
Yeah. All my
Man,
favorite things.
they really laser targeted this at Jesse.
Yeah,
I
and
like it.
it's super. Like the art style in the game is really neat. The battles were so much fun. They were like kind of a little button mashy, but they look great. And your character, that was weird. Is like your character was this one class that could use like all 3 weapons, and no one else decides to use that character class for some reason. So like I think you meet like one other
good class.
like, yeah. And like so one thing he was known for, the character, is he was a player killer. So like he would go and find people that like killed newbies, and he would go and kill them instead. And and you have all these AI controlled NPCs that follow you around, and like you'll be running around, you'll see other like NPCs run by, and you can like talk to them and trade with them like they're other people. And there's this one part of the game where you find out that someone is playing like a girl, but they're not really a girl, and it's like, come on,
That's
that's
players.
that's especially back then. Come on.
That's some Ready Player One shit.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like weird like online weird tropes and stuff, and I don't know, it's just a weird, delightful game, and I think the reviews for it were a little unfair, and they can suck my dick.
Damn,
Bold
dude, going
statement.
in on those 2006 reviews.
Hot
Suck dick. Gonna need to alter that for when Jesse tells somebody to suck his dick.
Yeah.
Suck dick.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, just use that sound I just made. But yeah, this game, I mean, these look cool, man. It's anime as fuck. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm into that. I say I'm into it. I'm into it aesthetically. I don't play a whole lot of anime games, nor was I playing a whole lot of PS2 games in 2006. That's That's another small problem with this. This was in like the swan song year of the PlayStation 2. So I don't remember what the fuck I was playing in 2006. Might be my
Wii?
Well, this one came out in like June of 6. Hold on, because I gotta do some personal history here, figure out what happened. But
one thing about these games that is I feel like that every store is going to put them in a different spot on the shelf because, like, how do you alphabetize this? Does the dot come first? Does the H make it, or do you put it with the H's? Does the dot make it go at the beginning, at the end? Like, where do you put this?
Weird.
You'd think that would have come up. I was working at a Blockbuster with the expanded game section at the time, and I don't remember this being an issue. But maybe that's it. This is from my fucking lost year of gaming down in St. Petersburg.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was playing some Wii and doing some extracurricular activities, so I wasn't playing a whole lot of games. That's a story for another time.
There is a PS4 release though, so
cool. Yeah, see, I'm into that. Is it like a collection or just a straight re-release or what?
I believe it's like a collection, but they like kind of rezzed it up a little bit. And I think they added like 2 or 3 like hours of epilogue near the end too.
All right,
so
I'm into it. Yeah, it just looks cool. I like the game within a game. I like visions of the not too distant future. It is very funny that it now takes place in the past.
Yeah.
So how accurate was it to 2017? Real world 2017. Did this game predict the rise of anything?
Maybe wearing stuff on your heads, because in like 2017, a lot of I guess that's when virtual reality started to get a little bit better, allegedly.
Oh. Okay,
So,
I thought you meant hats.
No,
Because
I thought you
I was living rather
cardboard
hatless.
Super Saiyan hair.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, they were way ahead of you with not only hats but cardboard Super Saiyan hair.
Super Saiyan
God.
Goku hair specifically.
Yeah, don't you dare try to be a different Super Saiyan with that hair. This game, it would have been better if it came with some kind of device that you could wear, or like a tie-in fancy anime hair. Like, they really should have been pioneering this stuff, because am I reading this right? Did they literally release 3 games in the same year? Or
I know. I think they were spread out a little bit, because I remember buying the first one and beating it, and then the second one came out and I played that one, beat it, and it took me a while to finish the third one because I just like a whole bunch of stuff just kept getting in the way, and I eventually beat it like in 2015 or something.
Word. I like it, man. Yeah, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad that it's still accessible to people, because people need to be able to play whatever crazy old anime games they want. That's one of the primary functions of my PlayStation 4. It's like, do you want to play new games like Horizon and God of War? Yeah, maybe for a couple hours, but like, more accurately, I'd like to download some PlayStation 2 games from 2006 and 2007 that I probably overlooked. That's how I played that one game with the space pirates, Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so there is there are a couple of years there of superb anime games coming out, and I think they went a little bit ignored. So I'm glad you can still play them. But this game looks cool as shit, man. They I think I need to find time to play it. I'm never going to find time to play it. I don't have time to play anything anymore. What happened to us, guys? Johnny's serving on a jury. I have a kid. Like, what happened to our time?
If it helps, like each volume was a little shorter than like most RPGs. Like they were only like, I know this is still a lot of time. It's still like 20 hours.
Okay, hey, still, that's
compared to,
reasonable
like,
RPG length.
Yeah. That's probably the perfect length right now.
That was that was the other notion I was operating under in saying that. I'm like, I can't handle playing like 5 Persona games. They all take like 100 goddamn hours. There was a huge mistake on my part to ever think I needed to buy that game. It's like, oh wait, you can do these in like 20? Actually, yeah, I could crank that out. If I had set aside all the time I've been recently just dumping into like meaningless shit like Smash Brothers, it's like, oh yeah, 20 hours is not that much gaming time to carve out. So yeah, cool. Might be time to boot up an anime game. But Jesse, anything else on .hack //GU? Is it a website? Can I type that into my browser right now and see where we go?
I mean, you could. A lot of browsers have like they just go ahead and search for you, so it'd probably just Google or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right. God damn it. Anyway, Johnny, let's navigate our way into the 5th game of the night. Come on, John, use some tech jargon. Computer man, correct me.
Game
That-
5.
Do it.
That shit.
Yeah. Linux. All right. This is the first game in this franchise and its related series in which the player uses a pistol. All right. All right, right, guys. Who is feeling great?
All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, guys. Who is feeling great? All right, gu I'm feeling pretty great.
Good. Very good.
Let my silence be my answer.
Let's see. How many of you have the correct answer? Oh, 0 have the correct answer. Jesse says Devil Summoner, which is incorrect. Johnny says Bang, see you, Space Cowboy. That's sadly also incorrect. And David says Phoenix Richt, the 4th, which is incorrectly spelled and incorrect. No, this is a fantastic game for the Game Boy Advance. Maybe you've heard of this guy in his first standalone game in the series. This is Mega Man Zero.
Oh, yeah.
And let the groans cascade in.
He does get a pistol.
Yeah, man. That's Zero. See, I immediately welcome anybody who wants to say, man, that game ain't anime. Because have you played this
It
game?
is.
Man, they animated the shit out of this
Did
guy.
Did they like Shadow the Hedgehog the Mega Man series before Shadow the Hedgehog was a game? Like, giving him his own game and a pistol?
Maybe just a little bit, yeah. But, yeah. Zero, he's been pretty edgy the entire time. But it's weird. He did always have a Buster cannon. I don't know why he busts out a pistol for this one. Besides the fact that it's set in the distant future, and I don't know, somebody just hands him a pistol. But yeah,
I've been there.
Right, yeah, exactly. You wake up hundreds and hundreds of years in the future, and somebody's like, "Hey, Zero, here, take a pistol."
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
of
trying
course.
to think of,
Yeah, it's America, isn't it? I know how to fire a gun.
I'm trying to think of anybody who would say that this game wasn't anime, because like the classic series is cutesy anime, the X series is angsty anime. Once they got to Zero, it was like full on cyberpunk anime.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it clear, like in case anybody wanted to say, like, nah, I don't know, man. Like, if you see a single cutscene in this game, they have like anime faces that are talking. Every character in this game is an anime character.
I mean, it's Capcom.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But like when I was a kid, I didn't recognize that Mega Man X as a series was like anime-ish because granted, Sci-Fi Channel wasn't on yet, so I hadn't really been exposed to a whole lot of anime when I was a kid. But as time went on, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty goddamn anime.
I mean, John, you know what the C in Capcom stands for, right?
Go on.
Anime.
God damn it.
I should have seen it coming, and yet somehow I didn't.
Where's your sound, bitch? Cool, John. Great joke. Yeah. But yeah, no. This game's anime as fuck. It's pretty fun. David, you had a Game Boy Advance. Did you play the Zero series at all?
I did not actually. I saw them and thought like, oh, I should get into this. I should play this. I enjoyed the Mega Man games, but apparently these games, to quote one of the great minds of our time, John Harrington, just butt fuckingly hard. Like, because
that might be true.
I have gone back and played one of them. I forget which one it was, and had myself a difficult ass time. Like, these games are brutal.
Yeah, man. Like, I was playing this in the lead up to the show just to get some experience under my belt because I wasn't much of a Game Boy Advance gamer, but I'm like, okay, now hold up. That Mega Man Zero, that's kind of dope. And it's like, wait, goddamn, they released 4 of these in like less than 4 years, all for the Game Boy Advance. Okay, I gotta play at least one of these. And yeah, this game doesn't really pull its punches, man. Like it starts out and it starts out pretty cool with just like opening cutscenes, people running from giant robots, and they find Zero and reactivate him. And so, then you start playing as Zero and you have to, do an opening level and an opening boss, which is all good. But yes, you can die on the opening boss if, say, you don't understand how to use the Z Saber yet. Like,
oh, wow.
You get the Z Saber as you're about to fight the boss, which, the Z Saber thing, it's it kind of makes up for the pistol because the Z-Saber is pretty goddamn dope. It's a green laser sword, and you fuck motherfuckers up with it constantly. But yeah, so you get it before the first battle, and if you are somebody like me who didn't look at the manual for this, or like it doesn't really, it just says like use the Z-Saber Zero. It's like I'm a trying, like I don't know what to do.
I definitely also remember because like in action platform games and everything, like you can scroll off an enemy, like you won't see the enemies, like
right
as you move through the stage, like enemies kind of disappear and everything. The enemies still know where you are, so you will get shot at by enemies you can't see.
Yeah, it's a well-programmed game for the enemies. But then once you figure out how to use the Z-Saber, that first boss, rather easy to beat. Then you got your second boss. I'm thinking this is going to be kind of a continuation of the Mega Man X series, which obviously it is, but it's like a fucked up dark version of it. So like, I'm thinking like Chill Penguin, or like fucking, I don't know, Spark Mandrill, like dumb animal-based characters. The first boss, like Reploid or whatever like actual enemy forces that you come across is Aztec Falcon.
Ooh.
He is unidentifiably like anything. It's not like, it vaguely resembles a bird, but it's more just like a terrifying blade machine that like shoots electric stuff at you. And he's the executioner of other Reploids. Like, there's some dark shit going on in this game.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, you have to fight Aztec Falcon, which is just terrifying blades and electricity. And that fucking thing doesn't pull its punches at all. Like, if you're not prepared to dash up the walls and, like, do, like, every fucking, Zero thing you can do, including, like, the saber and the charge shot and all this shit, like, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked. It's like, oh, cool. This is really, really hard. But it's cool. It's got a tone, man. Like, it's, they made up their minds. Like, yeah, we're going to go dark. Just because. Like, I didn't play many of the X series after, like, X3, but, like, did the X series get, like, exceedingly dark? Like, to the point where, like, it was stories about like robots being like beheaded and shit. Like, this seems really dark.
I mean, I think it was in either X4 or X5. Like, as you play as Zero, like you have this character who's kind of like a younger sister who dies in your arms. So they get kind of dark.
This is also the only game that ever had to have blood edited out of it in the entire Mega Man franchise. Because you want to know a game that owes this game some fucking like points. It reminds me of a Game Boy Advance version of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, because when you defeat the bosses, any of them, say Aztec Falcon or whoever's next, like all these robot masters you're fighting, when you defeat them with the Z-Saber, you cut them in half.
Awesome.
And their bodies separate. And in the Japanese version, they start dripping red oil, but they had to edit that out for the American release because it's like, Jesus Christ, what are you guys doing? Like, edit that. Like, Jesus.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's dope. Like, this game is fucking anime as fuck, and it's dope. But yeah, it's hard and confusing. Like, it's telling a story. I guess it's 100 years after the last Mega Man X game. Zero's revived by scientists who need Zero to help them fight a war. Because I guess in the future they started a new society called Neo Arcadia, where humans and Reploids would live together in harmony. And then almost immediately, almost immediately, there's like an energy shortage, and all the humans blame all the Reploids, and so they decide to start killing Reploids, and so there has to be a resistance. And so Seal is the name of the female scientist who finds Zero. She's the leader of the resistance, and she searches out Zero and brings him into the resistance fold. And guess who the bad guy is? Who is the ultimate ruler of Neo Arcadia? Slight spoilers, though they reveal it pretty early on in the game.
Mega Man X.
Mega Man X.
Oh, what?
Dude.
Oh, that was my shit throwaway answer.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude, you have to fight with this resistance to the final boss fight against Mega Man X. And I will slightly qualify that. It's a copy of X. So no, it's not the actual Mega Man X, but it's derived from the same code. And when you're fighting, it's like, oh yeah, shit, this is just Mega Man X. Fuck. And then once you get to the second phase of the fight, it's like, oh, okay, here's the anime thing. He turned into a giant angel and is doing energy blasts and shit.
Super
now
Saiyan
we
X.
got her. Now he's not X.
It's
That's
a copy
cool.
of X, but they forgot to save set the JPEG quality slider all the way to 100. They set it at 90 instead, and that's what you
He's
get.
just a little fucked up. He's got all the abilities, but he's kind of a dick now. But yeah, and so all the bosses, instead of being fun animal themes like Flame Mammoth and Sting Chameleon, they're all based on gods.
That sounds great.
It's great. No, that's the thing. I'm just confused by it. I'm not saying it's not great, but you got to fight a Ganesh robot.
I love the idea of one person on the development team, an intern doing character designs. Oh yeah, so we're gonna have this scene where Zero takes out the saber, slices the opponent in half with the blood oil dripping out, and it's you've killed a god. And he's sitting there didn't we used to make Blizzard Man, and he was a skee ball, a skiing snowball?
Heat Man was a Zippo.
I kind of miss Tornado Tunyon.
I think this game actually predates Tornado Tunyon because they went back. X7 came out after this. Sadly, they should have stopped at X6.
Tornado Tunyon was a backlash to this game.
Yeah, exactly. It's oh, you want to kill a bunch of fucking evil blood gods, huh? Fine. Here's an onion. Let's get lighthearted.
See, that makes me think again that there was just some character design. It's all right, fine, make X7. All right, but I'm putting a fucking onion in it. Whatever, we don't care.
Yeah, this thing's gonna be sponsored by Outback,
I really Bloomin' Tornado Tunyon.
That'd be great.
But yeah, man, all the bosses are pretty fucking creepy looking. I mean, there's it's funny because they could have just gone with animal things because it's a Ganesh theme robot. It's that's just a giant elephant. Why'd you have to make it a god? Oh, it's an Anubis. It's just make it a dog. I don't know what its element is, just evil dog.
At any point, do you come up against Storm Christ?
Oh, man. See, that's the one religion that just doesn't seem to get sliced in half enough in this game. It would be so good. Just, maybe that's what X is. Maybe he's Jesus Christ. But yeah, all the robots are God themed and they all have fucking crazy names. So what's the craziest boss name that you can think of in the Mega Man X series? Say Tornado Tunyon.
Yeah, Launch Octopus.
I think the craziest one is I think it was X8 that was Bamboo Pandemonium.
Okay,
the panda robot.
Yeah, Pandemonium is pretty good.
Boomer Kurwanga.
Boomer Kuwanger. Okay, yeah, that's pretty goddamn good. Let me just go through the list of bosses. So you got Aztec Falcon, Maha Ganesh Sharif, Pantheon Core, Anubis Necromancis III, Blizzak Stagroth, Hittite Hot Tide, Hanu Machine, Herculeus Anchortus, Sage Harpuia, Fighting Fafnir, the Fairy Leviathan, and the final boss Copy X.
So this sounds a lot like they just didn't hire a translator and just pasted the names into Google Translate and went with that.
Yeah, maybe. David, I also think you would love this game because nobody talks about this, but this is clearly the origin of Splash Woman. The fairy Leviathan is an underwater female boss who carries a trident and pretty much does everything that Splash Woman does.
I remember actually, and I don't know who the other one was. I want to say Harupia something. Like there's another boss in one of the Zero games that's like air themed and green and has giant fins on their head. And they're like, oh, it's Tornado Man.
Right. That happens. They get ideas from the games that fewer people played. But yeah, man, this game's pretty goddamn dope. And it's pretty fucking anime. Like when you beat the game, the final cutscene, cutscene. There's like 2 moving cutscenes. It's just literally Zero cutting Mega Man X in half. I'm like, okay, now this is good shit. But yeah, man, what a fucking game. And they made like 3 more of these, all for the Game Boy Advance. Like I couldn't believe that. I'm like, oh yeah, the Zero series, that's the thing. That lasted a few years. Like, no, that literally lasted like 4 years, and it was all Game Boy Advance. What the hell? Like, thought they spread these out a little bit.
That's like a shooting star, man.
Necromantis. Like that's the most insane shit.
Oh yeah, Anubis Necromantis the Third is pretty fucking crazy. Cause like, wait, now who is your grandfather? Is it the famous Anubis Necromantis? No way. Can you introduce us?
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Oh, he's in my favorite movies.
Yeah. You mean the evil dog robot from the desert from like 80 years ago? Anubis Necromantis the First? Yeah, that was him. Can we fight now, please? Goddamn. But yeah, it's a fun game, man. I recommend. I don't know if they made a collection of these recently or what, but like
I think they did.
Yeah, I think they did. The Mega Man Zero collection feels like a thing that exists, and if it is, seek it out. It's good. It's great. It's fine, actually. It's I don't want to call it great. I've only played a little bit of it because again, it's hard as balls, but yeah, it's pretty goddamn fun.
Is it anime?
So yeah, and it's anime as shit, man. Seriously, if you like your Zero, very anime, then this is the game for you. And then this is the series for you because the plot lines only get more anime from there. I mean, we're talking like I don't know, utopian place, but run by an evil robot, secretly done with the blood of other robots and resistances and god robots. I mean, yeah, this, goddamn, why did I ever think you guys would challenge this as being anime?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
what's the matter with me? Anyway, the game's dope. And, it's a lot of fun. And I love that Z-Saber slicing dudes in half. It's very cool. And I got nothing left because I didn't play very far into the game. So, Johnny, we got to go to the calculating computer, man.
Calculating computer activated. Computers.
Well, it's like Little Mermaid on NES, but there's aliens.
Beeps. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... John Harrington.
All glory to Anubis Necromantis the First. It's about time I won another match. Fantastic. Great game, guys. Great games. What a fucking show. I don't know what to say. I'm overcome with emotion. I secretly think that this episode of GTT might be a fever dream. I might be dying right now. And I dreamed you all to life. And so before I die, I have to declare a theme for the next episode that you guys will have to do without me. So, Jesus Christ, the things we've talked about tonight. So yeah, anyway, this was a great episode, and I had a theme in mind for the next episode because it's a GTT tradition. Are you guys aware of the tradition?
164.
The next episode is episode 164. And
It's Commodore 64, baby.
Oh, David, no! You blew it! As is tradition, anytime we do an episode with the number 6 followed by the number 4, it's got to be Game That Tune 64. which doesn't mean Commodore 64. It's Nintendo 64. So yeah, another Nintendo 64 themed episode, as we do once every 64 to 100 episodes. I don't know. It's definitely a Game That Tune tradition. You'll definitely be seeing it again in episodes 264, 364, 464, 564, 640, and 664. So be ready. So yeah, Nintendo 64 games on next week's episode. Not Commodore 64, but I don't know. If you want to mix it up, I don't know. Go nuts. So yeah, great episode tonight, guys. A lot of fun. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys and being back in the swing of things with crazy anime games. Thank you, Jesse, for that theme. What a blast. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Thanks to everybody watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. We're in podcast form in any place that you get your podcasts. So look us up there on Wednesday mornings. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It is the home for fun exclusives. I swear we've got some more coming. We've just been a little bit behind, getting those Gems recordings done and getting stuff out. And, getting back into the swing of things with movie night. We really, we're all busy adult men. It kind of sucks. And, it's hard to find time to set aside to watch Wing Commander or the Flintstones movie as a group of adult men with jobs and wives and kids.
Jury duties.
But, that's why we want you to check out Patreon. It incentivizes us to do these things. So go to Patreon. Throw us money, give us your best yabba dabba do, and yes, we will eventually watch Wing Commander. Thank you to our Patreon super fan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens. You guys are all fantastic, and we appreciate you being patrons. And thank you again to Mr. E for the request tonight. Mr. E sent us their fan request via Discord, so you can hit us up in our Discord server. We appreciate you guys hitting us up there. Chat along with us live during the show. Make your request there. Just we love chatting with you guys. So hit us up there. Hit us up on Twitter at GameThatTune, or hit us up individually on Twitter. I am there at JGangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan Jr.
Yeah, I almost called you this week's winner. You're not. I'm this week's winner. And so we're going home with my bonus tunes, which, John, I assume you found a way to download during the show and prepare for this very moment.
Yes, I did.
Wow, you did?
Yeah.
Cool. So, we're going home with not classic Nintendo 64 tunes, because I came up with that theme during the middle of the show. So we're going home with something that ties into my game tonight. The best song from the Mega Man X and Zero series. It's the theme of Zero from Mega Man Zero. Peace out, everybody. Dragon Ball Z for Connect is copyright 2012 Spike Company Limited and Namco Bandai Games. Astro Boy Omega Factor is copyright 2004 Treasure Company Limited and Sega Games Company Limited. Eternal Sonata is copyright 2007 Tri Crescendo and Bandai Namco Games. .hack GU is copyright 2006. I didn't copy anything. Oh, CyberConnect 2. Yeah, that's what it is. Mega Man Zero is copyright 2002. Capcom Company Limited and NT Creates.